I've realized over time, like everything else you think about, the way that this world system is, it's such a secret world that people are ran by a spirit that keeps them as their slave. It's a spiritual slavery. The only time that I feel like I'm a slave is when I go to work and do work, because other than that, there's nothing else on earth that keeps me feeling like I have to do something that I don't want to do. Nothing else on earth. I don't feel like I have to do videos. I feel like God is making it easy for me to do videos because of what the things that I'm shown and the things that he's just, it's like he just put it on my lap. You mean all I have to do is go into the art museum, push the record button for a half hour, pause it, between pausing it 4 times and running it through, all I gotta do is a half hour worth of work, and YouTube has to organize all of their videos, all 8 of them, to correlate in order for the kingdom come where all colors bleed into one, as Bono believes in, to come true for him. And all of the action. All right, cut. Nope, that color didn't blend in. Robin moved too fast on that one. You got to catch up to him on that one. Hold on. How many times did Bono do the dragon scene? Huh? Bono? How many times did you sing that version out and get it perfectly? Or is it just all CGI and it's all done just like that? Well, somebody has to put it together. That's the thing. Even if it is AI doing it, you still have to take my footage from into the portal, the time travel machine. You got to go in there, reach out, grab that video, and then organize all of the imagery to line up with all of my footage. Think of the amount of hours, the countless hours of production that's involved with just keeping up with my half hour of time. That was like nothing for me. I mean, I just recorded and walked around and showed you what I wanted to see in my own videos with you two in the background. That was literally my objective, was to do that. And then looking at the videos that are produced 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 30 plus years. Wow, how identical is all that? How did that happen? I have no idea. I just know that it happened. A theory is that my life was already played out at one time, and right now I'm just repeating it as I haven't went to heaven yet, and I died because I had some kind of a thing to take care of on Earth. And I'm plugged into the Matrix, and I'm fully awake, but I'm still unconscious. I can't get up. My body will not get up until my conscious dies. My flesh conscious body dies out. When my conscious tells me that my body dies, that's when I'll wake up. But the amount of time that's spent into putting these videos together just to line them up with what I'm doing, I mean, the Scorpion video, it was about 5 minutes, I think, maybe 7 total, 9 altogether, because I was talking at the end. But I don't know how Steve Fletcher is even still up. Esther crowned on January 11th. And the rapture dates are just, or whatever. But it's all, so yeah, it's like 5 minutes of the Scorpion video. And they decided to have a guitar playing at the same time with the Fox ears, and have their video light up when the car drove by my video with the headlights right before it was dark, and then to have a shadowy figure come out and match my arm swing at 3:57. That video was on March 29th, 2023 is when I officially recorded it. And it was around 8:30 probably at night, because the shadows were coming out. Or maybe 8. It was, springtime. Could have been around 8 when it starts to get dark. Between 7:30 and 8:30. And there's a spirit of doubt that's prevalent. A spirit of mockery in an evil way. When I mock people, I did characters, and I like to make people laugh. I know they enjoy it, and especially the people that I'm imitating, like Boldly and Tyler Mullen and SJD and Jethro. The list goes on and on. Matthew Daly, Derek from A Glob of Truth. All those people in the beginning. There's a spirit of spite. But I don't hold it against people, because I know that there's a time in the future where the knowledge, once you receive the knowledge of what this entire thing was all about, and what my whole purpose for hopping into YouTube was about, once that revelation finally comes to you, or even the people that don't even watch my videos, but they're just part of the world, and they know me, but they don't, pay attention to any of the videos. What's been going on is there's a communication with the masters of the universe, and they're higher above than the government themselves, because they are the government. Like, they're the shadow government. They're the puppet masters. They're the masters of the universe. And I've communicated with many of them. It doesn't even matter really what all I gotta do is click on someone's video that I'm talking about and have a conversation with them without even talking to them. because I'll record what they're saying and then I'll communicate back with what you're meaning. And I look at these people as the kings of the earth. Kings of the earth. Derek Bros, Jonathan Click, Stephen James DeShawn, Jacob Israel, Steve Ben-Nun, Skip Heitzing, Kim Jean, Paul LaBelle-Tiller, Paul Begley, the actual kings that I believe are in place right now. Not, some of you may even have lighter channels, other characters, but your main character is the king of, say, Saudi Arabia. One of you is Vladimir Putin, like Steve Ben-Nun. For some reason, I just feel like you're Vladimir Putin, and Hillary Clinton, and then Jonathan Click. Between Barack Obama, maybe it's all three: Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and and Donald Trump, and maybe Stephen James was George Bush because he was the first 9/11. Because there's four of them. There's like the four winds of heaven, the four presidents, pharaohs. Presidents, the ones in charge. Joe Biden in charge right now. I feel like Joe Biden has more of a Jacob Israel mentality, character to him. But again, there's three unclean frogs, and Logan Square in Philadelphia, the dead center, shows those three frogs, but it also shows three turtles because they live forever, so that represents how their long stream life. And there's one male Indian guy who catches a big fish, and then there's two female swans with hoses coming out from the back up in the top there, holding up with the water coming out, spraying out the tree. So there's those three, and the main last three presidents would be Barack Obama, Joe Biden, and Donald Trump. And Donald Trump being cut off halfway through in his presidency to only get back in. But he's going to be looked at as the Antichrist, but at the same time the Savior. And just maybe Donald Trump was the one with the wounded head, because I seen one of the beasts with the wounded head and did live. He lost, according to the script, even though I voted for him, and I said he was going to lose. It's in the title. But I voted for him anyway because I liked the character, and said that he would be back. It's just, I thought it'd be 3 weeks. Instead it's 3, weeks of years, or 3 years full. A full half a presidency. So he's coming back, and like Cyrus, and Darius, and then Daniel prospers in the reign of both of them. It's like he has the 120 sand traps, or satraps, against them, the presidencies. But that's also a similitude to Joseph and his brothers, where they they didn't want they didn't want to hear what he had to say because he wasn't part of their elite group. But see what happened in the end anyway. He was second charge to Pharaoh. Pharaoh being the president. So who's going to be the president? King Nebuchadnezzar, he lost everything for 7 years. Donald Trump, well, he was the president for 4, and then not for then he'll get back up again and be 4 more. Just like Steve coming down here from his island, or even if he, wherever he is, and living and eating grass, because he doesn't smoke weed, he just eats it. So he eats grass like the ox in the field. But in the end, King Nebuchadnezzar recognized that the Most High God rules. And Daniel's the one that showed him that. But in the meantime, there's a spirit running people. Let's go, for instance, today. Now, I'll look at it in each way. I won't attach feelings to it, but I will tell you there's only 2 explanations. I went to my favorite place today. I call it Beersheba. When I go there and have a sandwich and an alcoholic beverage, well, what I do when I'm there is God's work. And there's things that are revealed when I'm sitting there, and stuff I record, and how it correlates and lines up with whatever's going on in the moment. But I heard drinking alcohol is a sin. All right, well, I mean, Jesus drank his wine, right? He was considered a wine bibber and a glutton, or someone that ate too much and a wine bibber. So therefore, that would be considered. He would be considered a sinner, and that's why they wanted to stone him, because I don't know, whatever they. But the fact is that anybody living in the flesh already is born with the sinful nature of the flesh. The mind is what you stop. Your mind will stop your body from sinning. So Christ was different. He had God's mind in the flesh body. But I don't think he knew that. That's the thing. How are you supposed to know? Crucified at 33. 33. Where was I? What was I doing when I was 33 years old? Can you imagine dying at 33? Being crucified at that time? I believe June 28th, 1976. 76. 87. 8, 9, 6. Oh no. 2006. 7, 8, 9. 2009. I was 33. 34, 35. 2011 came around. I started to pay attention to Harold Camping 2008. So I was between 32 and 33, just starting to hop in to the world of the end of the world. The end of the world. So I basically, when I was 33, I started to give up on the actual world itself, hoping that it would end and I get raptured up out of here somehow. But that didn't happen. But I did sacrifice a lot, believing that it would happen. I even had a brand new truck, and I traded in for an old suburban grandpa mobile. And my wife, I'd bought her a 2008 Mercedes E350, and it was from Hollywood. It had nice wheels on it too. It was hooked up. It had addresses on the GPS to Hollywood houses. I thought that was pretty cool, but then I said, it's time to trade it in and get something less, because it was paid off. In 2011, we got married. February 12th, 2011. Right before I thought the world was going to end. I'm like, hey, why not get married? We went to the Virgin Islands for the weekend of Valentine's Day, and I got harassed going into the airport and leaving the airport in the Virgin Islands. And they didn't say a word. They just detained me for like 20 minutes without telling me anything. What's going on? Go ahead. You can go now. Oh, okay. Well, thanks. It's probably my record, you know? They run your name, I guess. But it was a good night, the day. Married on the beach. I think I spent like $500. We had the wedding. The lady that did the wedding, I feel like Skip Heitzing married us. There was this really tall dude. I mean, the guy was tall, like 6'8" or something. I think Skip said he was that much. And yeah, so but I didn't know anything about gang stalking back then, and I thought this is the right thing to do. And I also thought that her insecurities would go away once we get married, but that didn't happen. And I kept getting tested and accused day and night, day and night, day and night by the devil. In her mind, that would be her father. Anytime she listens to that devil is your daddy. Because he rules the flesh anyway. But he can't rule your mind. He can try. And that's why I don't hold it against these people, because there's a spirit running them, telling them to do things. Do you think everybody wants to do what they're told? I think they want to be free by now. This is the Egyptians. This is let my people go, Pharaoh. Who's Pharaoh? Who is Pharaoh? Well, the one in charge, the one who's the president right now, is considered a Pharaoh. But who's the real, what is Barack Obama? Is he the true Pharaoh? Is that Jonathan Kleck as the Pharaoh? Or is it Stephen James? Because the Pharaoh always seems to be set up on Satan's seat. And like that guy right there, he doesn't really have to stop, but he's told to stop and put his blinkers on. Why? Why would you be told to do something so pointless? Well, and then again, he could just be broken down. Just like when I went to Beersheba today. I went upstairs and then went outside to the balcony part. It wound up being a little bit windy. But I'm out there, and at the top deck, there were all the workers. I think all 4 of them were there. Hey, everybody. Hi, Robin. So I go out there, and I do my video, and I get up to put my plate away, and the door's locked. I'm like, huh. But luckily, Tony was there, the guy I was talking to, having his lunch. So, but if I didn't get up at that moment and go to the door, I would have been locked out, and then I guess I would just have to call the phone. And then even then, if I would have called, you probably wouldn't have answered, or they would have been, how it could have been busy. But and I love the people there, but I'm always aware that everybody's ran by a spirit. They can be nice all they want, and they can actually be good-hearted people, but there's something that runs everybody that tells them to do certain things just for me, Robin Henry Tees. Just for me. Things are done just because I show up wherever it is, and then it's not like it's an honor of any sort, because all the things that are done are always disrespectful. It's just a constant AI takeover, demonic possession of people to have them do disrespectful things, or not even just disrespectful, but just to be there in your way, to cut you off and step in front of you and come at you and stare at you and be walking by and mirror you, and just everything and anything to do exactly what it is that I'm doing. And I've realized that, okay, well, I can't get mad at it because Bono did the same thing. But the only reason why that is slightly irritating is because I'm still working for a living, going back and forth, doing something that's, you know, you kings, you guys don't do that, right? I mean, you don't do some kind of work that you don't feel like doing, do you? Hell no. And have you ever had to? John from Denver said, you look tired. Well, I always have bags under my eyes. It's just the way it is. And I am always tired. I'm tired the moment I wake up. If I get 10 hours of sleep, I'll feel good for the first couple hours, and then here comes sleep time. And it's just time to feel like I need to take a nap. Sometimes I'll even lay down for 5 minutes, just close my eyes, and I'll be aware of subtracting the 5 minutes from my time while I'm at work. But I also keep in mind too that I don't take smoke breaks like other people do, and 5 minutes every hour, to add up for like a half hour a day. But I'm conscious of it, and yeah, so I'm tired all the time, and I've always been tired. It just felt like, even when I was in my 20s, I just feel like I'm always ready to sleep. Maybe it's the way that they created me to be tired. I don't know. Maybe it's the diet. But there's times when I don't even eat, and it's like, and I feel better not eating. I don't know. Maybe they put sleeping medication in my water, in my drinks, in my everything. Maybe it's in the food. There's a slight sleeping medication that they put everybody in, or just the targeted individuals. So this is the test for the ones that I've been talking to. The ones that you don't ever have to work for a living, and you're set for your life right here on earth. And my life is not set on earth. This is a test to see if it's time yet. Because for 7 years, I did 2 fundraisers. One for Richie from Africa, and then one for my mom. And then both times there was a couple $100 raised, and with my mom, and when I split that with her, I think we split about $750. So like almost $1,400 or $1,500 was given between the few people. Brian Tucker, $1,000. That was very nice of you. You'll get it back at some point, you know that. But in the meantime, and then I did the monetized video for Walmart that paid myself for a little bit. At one point it was $250 a month. So after 6 years and 9 months, I finally decided to put up the PayPal, pay me at the top of my channel. It'll always be there now. So every time, and I'll go over it one more time when I'm home, and then that'll be the end of it, and I'll see where that goes and see, is it time yet? Because at a certain point, the people that are, like Skip Heitzing obviously can see what's going on here with the art museum footage. Obviously, there's no question that everybody I mentioned can see it, but the world can't see it yet, and they need to see this. They got to see this stuff. My videos should be on the freaking worldwide news, nightly news. Here's 2020 special. Here's 60 minutes. Robin T, 60 minutes. Time travel. Art museum footage director for the U2 band. So, Bono, you want to explain this one? Yeah, I want to hear somebody try to explain this one. Not just explain it, but like Derek Bros. I want to hear Derek Bros say exactly what it is. Because his channel would be the one to do that. Because he already had me on his channel 3 weeks in a row. And the stuff that he was talking about, and how I found Enki, Enlil, Enoch, Elijah, and then the one show he's talking about that the person right here now is, confirming everything I said, and it's like I'm on your show. You're either Enki, Enlil, Enoch, or Elijah. I mean, you're one of the four. So Derek's channel would be that one to do that. But he's also saying that YouTube is dying out. It's a dying platform. Which it is. It is. For sure. But it's only dying because I'm stomping out the lying false prophets. I don't even know who yous all are. But all I gotta do is just show my art museum footage, and it'll prove that you're all false prophets and I'm not. That's what that proves. It proves time travel in my life. It proves that these parables that I'm using what Skip said. Something very well known, which is rock bands, and then something that's unknown, which is me. And then I put it side by side and I let it rip. And you're going to see someone that you do know, which is Bono and U2 and their videos, music videos with the songs that they're making. And then someone that you don't know, which is me, playing their song, but yet their video is identical to my footage in the art museum that I recorded for the first time in my life this year. And their videos are 30 plus to 40 years old ago. And my footage is identical in their video. How do you explain that to anybody on Earth? Nobody can comprehend it. It's uncomprehensible. It's literally impossible, and therefore that's what makes the miracle. And it's over and over and nonstop, over and over and over again. I can do it all day long for the rest of my life. I can produce such tangible evidence of the power of God working through me, through U2, through Bonnet, through the director, through the art museum, through the coordinators, through everybody and everything, is what he's doing. He also says, ask and you shall receive. Well, if I never put the PayPal pay me up, which is asking for donations from the kings of the earth, not regular people, just the kings, the ones that have all the money in the world. That's what that PayPal is for. God told me to put it up because you need to see if it's time yet. Is it time yet? Well, if it's not time yet, at least it's up there. And if I get locked up for whatever, like predicting the, because an explosion happened in Texas somewhere, and it's showing you, it's the lady standing right by, she's standing right by the round building that looks like 17th JFK. She's standing at where it says, has a number 3 up on the sign. It's Route 3. It's at 7th Street, not 17th Street. But regardless of whatever happens, if I'm sitting in a prison cell, well, there's a way to, that money goes and then direct deposits into my bank account. And, you know, I would assume I'll be able to have access to the social worker can take my card and, you know, I'm going to need some chi-chis when I'm in the jail, some oodles and noodles and, you know, just things to, a radio, I'm sure, headphones, you know, things like that. So, but then regardless of whatever happens, at least it's up there for always, for the future, because YouTube is dying out. My channel won't. Steve can threaten me all he wants with whatever. Not afraid of him. Not afraid of the devil. Rise Dispensary. That's right. So yeah, YouTube's dying out because I'm taking over. And it's just the way it's working out. Because I'm being groomed to do it. It's a 7-year boot camp. I get harassed and gang stalked and severely scorned, beaten, whipped, spit in face slapped on. Everything that can be done to somebody telling the truth has been done to me on YouTube. Like the devil's trying to kill me, trying to kill me out. But I outlasted him. And I checkmated him. It was basically a checkmate. You can say between 3:30 and 4:01 p.m. on 3/23/2023. Checkmate. The main one would be at the Dragon. The Dragon scene around 9/11ish. That was a checkmate right then and there. Because it's over after that. But I kept going, even to the 6th song. You know, the 6th song was another, I'll just say it has to be the 7th and 8th song, was the true checkmate in the end. It's over. It's over. Game over, Satan. You can't hide anymore. I found you. You used my footage. I can't prove it in the court of law, but I can prove it to God and the people that have eyes to see and ears to hear. And deep pockets that actually want, I don't want people to be act funny or send me 2 cents or anything like that. You can keep that. And I don't want regular people to send donations unless you feel like it. I want the kings of the earth to make it real. Because how do you get something to be real? People pay for it. That's how. People come up out of their pockets and they compensate you for doing the works that follow me for 7 years for free. So I've worked for 7 years for free. I don't know exactly how it's going to all pan out, but I got to do what I need to do, which is necessary to at least have a link on my channel so you can go there. And so this is a test to see where these kings are at, and is it time yet? Is it time on April 2nd, 2024? Well, if it is, I'm going to play the Powerball number and I'm going to see if it's time yet. Again, the devil, who Steve represents being a great character of, he lies so much, but he's only talking about himself when he's doing that. People have to understand that. He's of the world, not me. However, I do work for a living, and I'm not lazy, but I am tired. I'm exhausted all the time, but I keep going through. I've tried to find a new way of... I put the office in my kid's room because he doesn't live there anymore, so instead of going in the shed and, you know, it's cold out, you put the heater on, it's loud, it vibrates you. Now I can just go right to the room. And what I've been doing this week was basically making videos from 9 to 12 at night. I was going to sleep before 9, but if I go from 9 to 12, then I'll sleep till about 8. I'll still get the 8 hours of sleep, and then go to work from 9 to 5 or 9 to 6, and then, you know, come home and do the same thing all over again. It gives me enough time to sleep. It gives me enough time to get 8 hours in at work, at least, or 10, and then it gives me enough time to do my videos, and then enough time to sleep, enough time to go to work, get my 8 hours, come home, enough time to do videos, enough time to sleep, and the cycle goes on and on and on until I finally retire. Because, well, who is it that is supposed to come up with their... is it the kings, any of yous? Or is it Abraham? Alright, fine. It's up there for you, Abraham. Abraham. Are you from the house of Ham, Abe? Abba? Ham, Abraham. Abracadabra. Is that the Hocus Pocus book? Are you in charge of Abracadabra, Abraham? Abracadabra, Hocus Pocus, Gematria? Well, I think I named 9 of yous. Where was the 10th one? Who was number 10? Or did I say that? 8, 9. We'll go with Robert Breaker. Yeah, I like Robert Breaker. So he would be like the 10th king that I just named. You know, in the end, it's really up to one person to finally break bread and make it real. And say, here, Robin, here's your 10%. It's real now. And it also becomes real when I stop working and I tell my boss why I stopped working. Because my YouTube Fantasyland just paid off. Look, it's real now. Because I'm the one that directed the footage for YouTube's videos. If you sit there and watch through it, you'll see it. It's all identical, and Bono believes in the kingdom come, where all colors bleed into one. That's exactly what happened. All the colors bled into one. I don't work for free my entire life when it comes to YouTube, but I did it right. I did it the first 7 years for free, revealing everything and anything that could possibly be revealed in secret, and then to time travel as well and present that with absolute, concrete, solid evidence. You know, it's circumstantial, of course, but it's perfection and data delivery. So let's see where yous are all at. The kings of the earth. Is it time for you to start compensating for someone that you appreciate the work that they've done and you want to help them, you know, get to work, basically? The moment I retire from physical labor, I'll probably be more busier than I ever had been in my life, but I'll love doing it. Because that's what I want to do. I want to have the time to be able to stay home and produce. I don't even have to go anywhere. Just produce and not have to work for a living. That's what the PayPal is for. It's at the top of my video on my channel. Feel free.